everyone, welcome to another week's video. My name is Carolina. I'm a Brazilian artist living in Dublin. I am especially interested in watercolors. It's my favorite medium and I'm a huge pigment nerd, so I'm always on the hunt for new pigments and new brands to try, and I love sharing all of these here with you. I'm pre-recording this. We are mid-August. I don't know when I'm going to be sharing this, so it's possible that some things I'm going to mention here won't be valid anymore when I'll be sharing, but in any case I just wanted to record this before I go on my 2-week break from work. And yeah, I'm very happy to be here with you again. I have a little package that I just got this week from Arte Miranda. It's a Spanish website, gorgeous, full of art materials, very good price, and if you're in Europe, very reasonable shipping. So I got a few things from them. It's not a huge haul, but first, before starting, I'd like to thank everyone that has been following me here. I really appreciate your support. And if you haven't subscribed yet, but you like the content, please consider subscribing. It's really helpful, and it's gonna help the channel to grow and get to more people. And if you like this video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up at the end, or now if you want. So Arte Miranda was having an offer where if you bought one of the Maimeriblu watercolor box sets, you would get a free Arches travel pad. And ta-da! Here I have. They did send me the Arches travel pad. This one has 100% cotton. It's cold press, and you have 15 sheets, 300 grams per square meter, and they are 15 by 25 centimeters or 6 by 10 inches. Yeah, great. Love Arches. Is one of my favorite watercolor papers. So when I saw this promotion, I was like, yes, I love watercolors. I love cotton watercolor papers, so that's a no-brainer. Now, apart from this set here, that is called the Arctic, I also got another 3 separate tubes. So we have Pale Orange. That's one of my favorite oranges. And this is Permanent Red Light, and this is, we don't have the pigment over here. Yes, we do have, it's PR168, and I think it's the same pigment of one of my favorite colors for 2023 that I got from Roman Schmall. Sorry, I had to go on a hunt because I could not find my info for the Roman Schmall color. Here I have my swatch card. So yes, indeed, it's the same color that I have from Roman Schmall, Anthraquinone Scarlet, PR168, and I really love this color. So I was stoked to find that Maimeriblu has this in tube form, because I wanted to have it in the tube so I could use in travel palettes and whatnot. So there's that. And then the third one is called Mars Brown, and this is PR101, and it's supposed to have beautiful granulation. I checked Kim Crick's website. It's a very informative website with a lot of good advice on watercolors and if they're light fast and how they behave, and she mentioned that this one had an interesting texture, so I was curious about that. So I have here 6 tubes in this box plus 9 tubes, and finally I got something new to me. that I never used, and I was curious, so I had to contain myself to get only 2 because I really wanted to get more, but I didn't know if I was going to enjoy using these. These are watercolor sticks by Daniel Smith. It is more cost effective than buying the small 5 milliliter tubes. So I got 2 colors. One is the quinacridone sienna that I know I love, so I said I'm gonna take this one to try. And the other one is the hematite genuine, which I also have in the tube, and I thought it would be interesting to have in this stick form to carry on like for plein air, and also considering it's one of their Primatech paints that is a bit more expensive, so it was more as cost saving in this stick form. So I have these two colors to try, and these 9 tubes. Now I'm gonna unpack this and I'll be back soon. So I unpacked the box, and here I have the colors that are inside the box. You have golden yellow, PY183, defiance blue, PB60, which is also known as Indanthrene or Indanthrone blue. Then we have ultramarine deep, PB29, turquoise cobalt, PB28, indigo, which here is NB1, so I assume is the genuine indigo for having this as a pigment information. And then last but not least, we have raw umber, PBR7. So they come in this box. It won't be my first time trying Maimeriblu. I have an introductory set I purchased last year, I believe, and I haven't had the chance to use them much, but I find them very vibrant and consistently good as a watercolor brand. So I'll start with putting the swatches over here on paper. I'm using my usual sketchbook from Booking for the rough, which is almost finishing. Oh, it's very creamy. And I'm going to be using my usual flat brush to try these colors. So let's start with the golden yellow. I may have added more than necessary, but this one was quite liquid, hard to control out of the tube. It's a really gorgeous yellow. It's it's on the warm side, transparent. Reminds me a bit of Nico Azul Yellow, only that doesn't have the very dark mass tone as Nico Azul Yellow does, but a very similar type of tone. Lovely yellow. This will probably have great mixing potential for oranges and greens. And now we have they call it Fiance Blue. It's PB60, so Indanthrone blue. This is one of my favorite blues in watercolor. It's very deep. And this one doesn't disappoint. It's really rich, easy to spread on the page. Now we have the ultramarine deep, PB29. I hope this is very granulating, as PB29s usually are, unless they are finely mulled. We'll see that when it's dry. also share you a close-up of all of those when they are dry. I can definitely see some granulation here in the diluted portion. Now, a staple for me, the cobalt turquoise. I probably have this in every single brand I own. What can I say? It's one of my favorite colors. And it's a very unique color also, in the sense that to get a similar result you would probably need to mix phthalo and white, but then you have an opaque flat type of color, while the cobalt turquoise is granulating. And I think, I don't know if it will be semi-transparent or opaque, but yeah, it's a very unique color. You can use it on its own, or in mixes it can give some very interesting results as well. Then we have the indigo. Wow, very rich, very deep, almost gray, like very inky blue. And just have to keep in mind that pigments that start with NB are not light fast, so this one will be reserved for sketchbook. Not that I currently sell any of my paintings, but I do like to frame some of my paintings for my house or to give as gifts, so it's always something to keep in mind. And we have the last one, which is raw umber. And here comes the rain. You may or not hear it in the background. Yeah, it's very transparent, this raw umber. And raw umber sometimes can have some texture, but maybe I should add a bit more. This is the Arctic set, swatched. It's a very beautiful limited palette. It can work very well on its own if you want to have, like I said, limited color choice. You can just focus on the blues and the yellow and the neutral. It works very well, but I'm sure you can also create some interesting greens with that, since you have 3 blues and the indigo that can also work for mixing blues with the yellow. With the brown you can always create also some different browns, mixing with the different grays. Mixing with yellow you probably have some type of ochre. Of course it doesn't have a red in the set, but like I said, it's useful if you want to work on a limited color palette, so you are sure to have harmonious result only focusing on blues and yellows, for example, or just greens and browns. Now I will swatch the following tubes that I got separately. So as you could see, probably I had binder separation issues for all of the tubes I had bought separately. The Power Orange the permanent red light and the Mars brown. I use this paper punch to mix it inside. Let's see now how these look. First we have Pyro Orange, and yeah, that's exactly as I was hoping for. I found out recently that Pyro Orange has different versions even with the same pigment. So this is the one that I really like, this transparent warm orange, but there's also a more reddish version, a bit cooler, and I'm not a big fan of that one. And I have this color in half pan. I have this pigment from Core, and I really love it, but I only have it in their mini palette with the half pan, so I really wanted to have it in the tube, so I can use for travel palettes to squeeze them into pans. And now we have the permanent red light, which is really lovely. It's a color I got very fond of since I tried the Roman Schmoll pan, and I was very happy to find it in tubes by Maimeriblu. It's not a very common pigment. I think Core also has this in tube, but I read some comments about being weak in the Core version. Also, Core is not easily available here in Europe. I believe you can only get it from Jackson's, and I tend to shop more at Arte Miranda because it has better prices and the shipping also is more affordable, on top of not having to pay taxes because they are in Europe. Lovely, lovely color. I'm so happy I got it. And the last color by Maimeriblu is the Mars Brown PR101. I put a lot here. I also had to mix it in since it had binder floating at the top of the tube. But I believe this one will show this color separation more diluted, so I'm gonna try to dilute it a bit better here because it's a very rich color. It can get pretty dark and opaque in Mastone. I can already see the granulation happening, but I'm curious about this color separation. I'm gonna dilute it a bit more even to try and stimulate this separation here. Okay, now we are left with the two Daniel Smith watercolor sticks. So what I think I will try is I'm gonna try dry first, and now I'm gonna wet it to see how it dissolves. Gorgeous color, love this color by Daniel Smith. It's the loveliest tone of orange, and it has also this very pleasant diluted tone. But I think using it like this it's a bit hard to control the dilution. So now I'm going to try taking the pigment straight from here. I'm gonna use a smaller brush. This one from Aqualiner, Dalerone, is also a flat one. It's a bit smaller, so I'm gonna try to just wet the top of the stick. Yeah, I like it better this way. And I want to do a final test here, just wetting the paper. And then scribbling over it. And you get a very vibrant burst of color. I really like using it like this. Actually, I think it can be interesting way to use, let's say, if you want to paint loose flowers, for example. I can see myself leaving the middle of the flower wet and just scribbling with some of these sticks. You give a natural shape when it dries. So I'm curious to see how it will dry. And let's do the same with the other stick now, the hematite. I'm gonna first, this feels very dry, straight on paper like this. I don't know why I felt like I had this impression that they would feel a bit like crayons or pastels, but no, they are really dry, so I don't think it's the best way to use them. It's my first time trying them, so I'm trying them in different ways to understand in which way I feel more comfortable using them. And so I can definitely say I am not very keen on using them dry on dry. This one is particularly dry. You can see I don't get a lot of pigment payoff here. Let's try now straight from the stick. Definitely you have a better pigment payoff this way. Lovely color separation and granulation, because this is a granulating color. And now I think that's when the magic will happen, when I use this on wet paper. And since I like so much using the sticks on wet paper, I think I'm gonna use this last spot here that I don't have anything else to swatch. I'm gonna try and use both of them and see how they mix. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. I'm curious as to how this will dry. I will be right back with all these beautiful paints close up to you. See you soon. So I'm back. I have all the swatches here dry, so I'm gonna show you the close-up. So as you can see, the golden yellow, like I said, is very transparent, lovely, lovely yellow. Indian tone as it's supposed to be, or faience blue in this case. The deep ultramarine has granulation. You can see also it's not extremely pronounced, at least on this paper, but I can see it. As I can see also the cobalt turquoise, which I find it more pronounced than with the ultramarine deep. Indigo is a nice dark tone, as is the umber. I believe is raw umber. Yes, raw umber. It doesn't have a lot of texture, but it's a nice medium brown. Pyrrole orange is also really nice and warm. It has some slight shiny spots here because I think I didn't mix very well when there was the binder separation. Absolutely love this permanent red light. And the Mars brown, exactly as Kim Crick said in her blog or in her website, has very interesting color separation. You have this deep brownish color, but then it separates between a lighter brown and a darker brown. Very beautiful. I really like the sticks, also the Daniel Smith watercolor sticks. Love the quinacridone sienna. Hematite is a beautiful color. I like it more using the stick in the second way, as I dip the brush in water and then took the pigment from the stick. I find it was easier this way and you get more color payload. And what else? It was interesting also using it dry on wet, but it doesn't, at least with these pigments, it didn't spread a lot. It just stayed where it's put, so this can be interesting depending on the effect that you are looking for. So I hope you enjoyed this mini haul with these Maimeriblu colors. I really love them. I like them so much. I actually put them in my travel palette. I was just loading some colors into this little portable painter palette, and we'll see what I get up to. I will share with you when I'm back. Thank you for being here with me, and if you watched this video to the end and you enjoyed it, remember to give me the thumbs up, and I see you soon. Bye.